Episode 26, The Power of Transitions. Welcome back. I'm the Zen Master, and today we pause in the in-between. Not the beginning. Not the end. But the subtle space where things shift quietly, invisibly, meaningfully. This episode is about transitions. Not just the big ones, career changes, life pivots, new roles. But the micro-transitions we live every day. The breath before speaking. The silence after a decision. The moment between one meeting and the next. In Tai Chi, transitions are everything. The power isn't in the pose, it's in how you move between poses. The grace isn't in the gesture, it's in the continuity. And in Yoga Nidra, transitions are sacred. The descent into rest. The emergence into wakefulness. Each shift is a doorway. So what does this mean for those of us who lead without titles? It means we pay attention to the spaces others overlook. We notice the tone of a message, not just the words. We sense when a colleague needs a pause, not a push. We understand that change doesn't always announce itself, it often whispers. Here's a practice. Next time you move from one task to another, pause. Feel your breath. Ask yourself, what am I carrying into this moment? And then choose, consciously, what to leave behind. Transitions are not interruptions. They are invitations. To reset. To realign. To re-enter with intention. For aspiring managers, the power you already hold. If you're someone who wants to become a manager, this episode is especially for you. Because the path to leadership isn't paved with promotions, it's shaped by presence. And transitions are where invisible power begins to show. Invisible power is the kind that doesn't come from a title. It comes from how you hold space. How you respond when others rush. How you notice what others miss. Aspiring managers often ask, how do I prove I'm ready? My answer, start by mastering transitions. Not just between roles, but between emotions, conversations, and intentions. When you move from frustration to clarity, others feel it. When you shift from urgency to calm, the team follows. When you pause before reacting, you lead even if no one calls it that. Invisible power is the ability to influence without needing credit. To guide without needing control. To create movement through stillness. So if you're preparing for a formal role, begin here. Practice the art of transition. Learn to lead in the spaces between. Because that's where real leadership begins. Closing reflections plus teaser for episode 27. Transitions are not pauses in your leadership. They are the pulse. They teach us that influence isn't about what we do, it's about how we move between what we do. They remind us that clarity lives in the in-between. And they invite us to lead gently, wisely, and with deep awareness. Thank you for joining me in this quiet exploration. If this episode resonated with you, share it with someone who's navigating change. Someone who's stepping into leadership. Someone who's learning to trust the invisible. And next time, in episode 27, we'll explore the wisdom of boundaries. Not as walls, but as invitations. Not as limits, but as clarity. We'll ask, how do we set boundaries without guilt? How do we protect our energy while staying open? And how can boundaries become a form of leadership, especially for those who lead from the middle? Because sometimes, the most powerful push is knowing when not to move. Until then, keep walking gently. Keep pushing wisely. And remember, the most meaningful shift often begins in stillness. Be well.